Well, thanks everyone. I am looking forward to sharing with you some ideas tonight, some thoughts around the Collectorette company, where it's been, where it's going, where we're at. Here it is, April 3rd. Hard to believe it already, 2024. It seems like just yesterday we were, heading into the new year, and the first quarter's already gone. And what we can tell you there is the first quarter was a very progressive quarter for Collectorette. My name is Don Carson. I'm the master distributor of the company, and I've had the pleasure of working with Dave Jordan, our CEO and founder, for really over about 9 years now. I met him in August of 2015, and we immediately had a bond as we went to an event and we shared business thoughts. At the time, I was building or just in the process of selling one of my companies on the New York Stock Exchange to a buyer, and was looking for other things, buying some traditional companies to move into. And Dave and I put our heads together, and it was funny at the time. I learned about him, he learned about me, and we said one day, you know what, his passion may come through. And I was a sports nut. I mean, I love sports, still do to this day. Have my favorite teams, and it just made good sense at the time to talk about the future. And when you talk about the future, you can't help but look at the collectible industry, because so many people have realized now that it's not going away. It's a market that is growing exponentially every year, the collectible market. And we're talking about, even on the screen you see behind me, bobbleheads and Pez dispensers and some Barbie things and hockey figurines. And I've got figurines from some of the favorite cartoons my kids grew up watching, like the Incredibles, and NASCAR items, and presidents' pictures, and all the things that I've bought on Collect Direct over the last 6, 7, 8 months as now an avid collector. At the time, really, I was more of a fan, but now I'm finding I'm a collector. And one of the favorite things I've bought off of the Collect Direct was Beanie Babies, believe it or not. And it's fascinating. The emotional connection to many of the things that you find in a company like this brings you back to your youth at times. And for me, I was a school teacher back in my 20s, and I can say this to you. I was trading cards with kids at lunchtime to interact with them and have fun with them, and teach them some of the things about buying and selling in a fun way. And it was really interesting at the time that those young 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds were just so into it, and I was a rookie, and so they were taking advantage of me. Right? I had some really cool cards in those days that I picked up, and I got into it a little bit. And at that time, I started buying sets in 1984 and 92, and all these different sets. And I started seeing some of the greats like Wayne Gretzky and Steve Yzerman and Patrick Waugh and Mario Lemieux in these sets. And I thought to put them away in a safe place. And then when all these years got later, when I got married, my wife and I had a child, it was like I wanted a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, a real pristine one. And my wife knew I wanted it. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. And she went and got it for me for a surprise just before our son was born on January 8th, 1999. And if you recall, 99 was Wayne Gretzky's number. And that was kind of important to him, the year 1999, in terms of his legacy and his retirement. Why do I share that with you? Because today that card's worth so much more. And again, I put it in a safe place. My son then goes on and plays a little bit of hockey. And by the time he's 7 and 8, you know what? He's enjoying it. I thought I'd give him some enthusiasm. And I find at that time that the new up and coming star, Alexander Ovechkin, I buy that card for my son for $150. And he put it away in a shoebox. And all these years later, starting on this Collect Direct journey, my son walks in and says, "Dad, look what I found that you bought for me when I was like 8. And I had just been to a card store that I'd originally been to when I bought a Mario Lemieux card. And I asked the gentleman about Alexander Ovechkin, and watching him now almost break the Wayne Gretzky goal scoring record, and anticipate he may do it within the next year and a half or so. That card was now valued well into the $3,000, $4,000 range and growing. And I can only imagine what could happen if he does break that record. Again, keeping it in a safe place all these years, we look at this as a time capsule. We look at the collectible industry as something that just actually ties you to your emotional connection of the past. Just as I said, sharing you that picture of my family with the Incredibles at Universal Studios, and knowing that that was our favorite cartoon, and then picking up some of those items on the Collectorec website for my own personal monthly qualification I wanted to do. The story's only getting better as Dave's added every day branded cards. Now let's talk briefly about brand for a second. You see, in my traditional business, I have one of the best brands in the category that I market. And that gives trust when people walk into the store or when they go into one of our events and they purchase something from us. They know it's not something that's going to come and go. They know that we're not somebody that just opened their doors and we're gone for good. We're a traditional space that's been there for over 40 years. Why do I share that with you? Because again, brand is so important to the trust of the person that's actually making that decision with their hard-earned dollars. In the collectible space, there's a lot of companies out there that are not real. In the collectible space, there's a lot of sellers out there that are selling things that are not actually as they say they are. Well, here we have somebody who's been in this business, Dave Jordan, for over 40 years as a goat collector, amassing millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions of items in 3 warehouses, expanding that into these multiple containers that they're cataloging for the future as he's buying more and more collections from around the world and predominantly throughout the United States for us, for those of you that take interest in what I'm sharing with you tonight. You see, when you think about 1998, that's when Dave had the first idea of doing this from a buyer's club kind of a mentality in the network industry. But it was the wrong time for expansion of where people could see these items. The traditional way of doing things might have been radio, and it might have been the email, and it might have been, infomercials, but very expensive to do that because that's where I first had my wares. I was on TV as a shopping channel personality, selling fitness equipment on a regular basis. And I used to see the ticker on the bottom of the screen, and every item that's sold, it was motivating. It was kind of like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. In the network space now, with the automation of social media and the up and coming AI technology, more and more people can see things that you want to share with them by you getting on YouTube, by you getting on social media of any kind and sharing what you're darn right excited about using your own words. And the fact that you're using your own words is the brand. See, you're a brand. And you have to understand that your word is your bond. In fact, people will I think it was my wife that once said this, your words are undeniable. Whatever your story is, it's undeniable. That's your story, as long as you're truthful in your story. And the collectible industry, when you attach yourself to a brand, the story is the branded item, whatever that is. So let's flash forward now to 2024, where we are in the last 3 months. And when you absolutely look at what Dave Jordan is doing, he has created a brand called Collectorec in the card grading space for all of you who are wanting to participate. What does that mean? Well, that means the only place you're going to be able to find a Collectorec graded card, and by the way, let me just add a caveat to this. Dave has been approached by lots of collectors asking if he will grade their cards for them, and he has turned them down because that's not the model. The model currently is for us to create a branded card in the sports memorabilia space and the multiple of other spaces that I'm going to share with you tonight, and let people get excited about what his authenticators are coming up with. And what they've done is they authenticate them, and then they send them off to the PSAs and the SGCs and the Upper Decks and the Beckett's and so on, and let them see how good they've been doing. And they are 99% so accurate. They're finding when they send a batch there, they're coming back tens from these companies. And the story's only getting better, because what Dave's doing now is he's sharing with the world on a company that he's using for his marketing strength called Collectaway, the brand Collectorec that only can be found on a Collectorec website, a link that you'll be able to share uniquely to your friends, family, or colleagues. And the way I would look at it as best as you could is this. It's like a buyer's club. And if you want to participate, and this might be something you'd say, if you want to participate in a buyer's club with my collectibles that I'm doing, I'm enjoying myself. You see, I buy a card a month, and you know what? I've got 6 of my friends that have done that, and I get a card for free a month, basically. Well, how does that work? Well, for every one of my friends that spend $29.98, I get $5. So I got six of these people that I met that are excited, and I get $30 a month. So I get my card for free. Can you imagine what my card of the month club could be worth a year or 2 years from now if I collect them in and keep them in safe spaces? And we've seen folks, and this is part of the story, take Dave's branded cards now and market them in other places on different places in markets and trade shows and online, and they're getting solid returns. Maybe no guarantee. There's no guarantee in anything in business today, right? But the possibility is there, the chance. And the word chance in the collectible space is so attractive. It's like a redemption certificate in a box spray. What do you get that you might get later? An autograph or whatever. That's the collectible space. And that's what's so darn exciting about this world that you're delving your attention into if you see this video after. I just want to say that if you use your imagination, that the world is expanding the major leagues everywhere. When you use that in reality, what is it doing to the collectible industry? It's blowing it up exponentially on a parabolic level. What do I mean by that? If you go through the time and the history, it's just incredible to see. And I wrote some numbers down here, but they're talking about just in the card collecting industry, by the year 2027, there'll be 98.75 billion participants or people buying these cards, right? Or making those transactions. It's huge with the growth trajectory that we're on. And so when I think about the growth and I look at where we are at the beginning stages of a brand happening with all of your attention to what I'm talking about, it's very rare earth for you to be participating in it. It's not something that you get this chance of very often. If you're around when eBay started, if you're around when Amazon started, if you're around when Facebook started, if you could have been one of those people that bought an Apple share when Apple first started, or Microsoft, have at those shares now, right? I fortunately did buy my kids 100 shares of Disney and 100 shares of Microsoft way back, and they will now, I'm sure, give it to their kids one day. And sure, that $2,500 that I bought in each of those stocks back then is now worth $75,000. $5,000 worth $75,000. That's the investor side of the space that we're not guaranteeing you anything. We're just saying, what would be wrong with, as I did for my kids, save something for the future, maybe for their kids. And that's the collectible space. That's the premise of what I wanted to share with you tonight, folks. It's a fun business. It's very inexpensive to get started. I have a few slides I want to share with you to lay this out. And then I hope to be able to give you a little insight into what's happening as we speak for all of you who are already participants of the Collectrek world. So let me just share my screen and then just give you a quick 1, 2, 3 of how exciting this industry is. I mean, we talk about it coming back from the past, right? That's bringing the past to your future. I made that preference, but what we do is we create a video for you to share that tells the story of our plan. So let's just take a look at this.
So, you want to become a member of Collect Direct. Here's how it works. Congratulations on deciding to join the exciting growth of the collectibles industry. Collect Direct was founded by our CEO, Dave Jordan, who has amassed a warehouse of vintage collectibles across all categories for over 40 years. Collect Direct allows you to easily create your own website showcasing items from Dave's collection. For every purchase made through your unique referral link, you earn rewards in a variety of ways. To get started, you simply need an existing member to invite you. Then you sign up for just $9.98, which gives you a 1-year membership. Next, purchase at least $29.98 worth of items to qualify your membership as an affiliate position, making you eligible to earn commissions from sales on your website. Collect Direct is a highly duplicatable, home-based business with unlimited potential, rewarding individuals through team building, coaching, and repeat customer orders. As part of a debt-free company participating in the multi-billion-dollar collectibles industry, expected to reach $1 trillion in the next decade, the possibilities are truly exciting. Don't miss out on this opportunity to point, click, and share your way to earning retail rewards.
Now, as I share that video with you, it's the beginning of where we're going as a company. We are looking at the sports trading card industry, as I said, growing at a parabolic rate right now. We're also looking at the fact that you can participate here and be a collector, and it's a game changer because you can get paid to be a collector because you're adding something to your portfolio of collectibles that if you did like my wife and I have done, we saved them in a kind of a time capsule, and all these years later, we're seeing them go up in value, which is just so fun to be able to leave for our kids and possibly for their kids' kids. So when we look at the different types of categories that the Collectorect brand is setting, just he added 25 more today. Collectorect branded cards. Look at John Belushi. I mean, that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. The Johnny Carson Show. These are graded, authenticated cards that have a value that in some cases is way more than what you see here. And for those of you that are interested, once they're gone forever. And they become part of your own personal time capsule around the globe. There's a young hockey player on my team, the Winnipeg Jets, Cole Perfetti. I'll be buying that card tonight because I don't have Cole Perfetti's rookie card. I'm excited to get that card. Leon Drysdale, an incredible player on the Edmonton Oilers. Cale Makar, obviously one of the top defensemen, won the Norris Trophy on the Colorado team. Well, I mean, here's some more items. I went backwards, sorry. Baseball, NASCAR, all of the different things you can imagine. Sports rock, like Motley Crue. There's the AC/DC's lead singer card that just came out, Pokemon cards, boxing, and so on and so on. All of this leads to the vault. This is the Ultimate Jordan Collection, which is right now being tested live in a safe area so that we can make sure that the concept that we've been talking about for the last 3 months comes to fruition. So the video lays out our plan. $9.98, that's a yearly membership. You paid once. $29.98 gets you qualified as a qualified member. Now that means you have an opportunity to share a link that has your own personal username on it with your friends, your colleagues, or anybody that you choose. And if they go to your unique replicated site, it's the same as my site, but it has your name on the top of it, and they buy a $29.98 item, you get the $5, but you also get volume that you can start team building. Now, you're going to have a unique link in your same website on the vault that you can share that goes to Dave's high value items, everything above $29.98 into the thousands and above. And if somebody buys something from that vault, you're going to get paid an estimated 5% of that purchase. And another 5% is going to go into the team that's been supporting you and helping and coaching you. It's called a unilevel pay plan. It's incredible. Tonight's not the night to share that on this video, but the vault being tested live right now is so close to being part of our story. And that's why when you see our comp plan that is live in your back office now, the actual comp plan, if you go as a member in your back office, you'll see the compensation plan. That's our actual compensation plan. And you'll see in there the word, the vault, coming soon, right on the front page. Folks, that's an exciting part of it. Remember, we're just babies in this huge market that's already 458 to 500 billion, expected to go to $1 trillion over the next 9 and 10 years. What does that tell you? All of the eBay shoppers, 3.67 million of them a month, all of the estimated Americans alone, 200 million of them that collect something, are all going to have eyeballs one day that are going to appreciate the brand Collectorect and the trust in the brand Collectorect. All you need to do is follow along and learn how to point, click, and share your link to your friends, the videos on your back office to your friends to open their eyes, and the other items coming soon to this website for you all to be able to learn and earn. And again, just to summarize, you're going to get paid to team build, coach, and every time somebody buys something off of your website, you get paid. It's repeat member and customer overrides. Pay continually. If it's a $29.98 item, $5 every time, for example. And that means repeat money coming to you over and over again. But here's the beauty of what we're describing. To be in business with a multimillionaire Dave Jordan, somebody who has been considered one of the top collectors in the industry for over 40 years, and to be able to be in business with him for as little as $400 entirely for 1 year, $9.98 one time, and $29.98 once a month. That's under $400, and have the chance to duplicate that with your friends, with your personal buyers club. Hey, what if you had 6 friends that bought one of those $29.98 items? You get yours then basically for free. That concept. Now you can go fast. There's other ways to do that, but that's not for this video. I want you all to know that where you are right now is in rare space, right? Rare space in any business I've ever been involved with. Folks, I've currently got a traditional company that is doing extremely well right now. It came through some really rough time with the COVID and everything else that everybody was going through, but it's going well. And we're doing the right thing with our brand. And I believe with all my heart that we're participating with a brand building for you, me, and anybody you choose to share this with. And that brand one day will be a household name. I hope this makes sense to all of you. I really do. I'd like to give anybody a chance to ask me a question. We'll hang around after. But folks, this video that we did tonight is about 21 minutes long, and it would be easy for you to share. I hope it made sense. I hope I got your attention. I'm excited that I was able to share my thoughts around this tonight. And once again, thank you. We do this every Wednesday. And then this Saturday, for those of you that are interested, there is a training going on at 12 noon Central Time that I'm sure the person that invited you, or you see this video, can share with you exactly how this is done. So let me turn this recording off. I'll hang around and I'll answer your questions again. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you being here with me this incredible April 3rd evening. Thanks again.